Merry Christmas. Derek DeBrosse here, the gun lawyer from Munitions Group, munitionsgroup.com. I wanted to take this chance to address a question I actually got by email today, and I thought it was a good chance to do so with Christmas right around the corner. I'm going to take this stupid hat off so you guys can actually focus on me and not my dumb hat. My attempt at holiday humor. Anyhow, we have a question today. I'll read it to you guys. It's very on point and interesting. I'm 18, and if my parents wanted to get me a handgun for Christmas, is this legal? There's really two questions that we have to deal with this question. And the first part is federal law. What does federal law say about the transfer of firearm to somebody as a gift? In a nutshell, very briefly, you can do that. If it's a bona fide gift, you can buy a gun for somebody, fill out the 4473 background check paperwork for a NICS background check on yourself, and pass, and then hand the gun to somebody else if it's a bona fide gift, meaning there is no exchange of consideration. What the 4473 form actually says, it says for the purposes of this form, a person is the actual transferee if they are acquiring the gun for themselves, and I'm paraphrasing here, but the important part for our discussion today, it reads, and I quote, a person is also the actual transferee / buyer if she is legitimately purchasing the firearm as a bona fide gift for a third party. A gift is not a bona fide gift if another person offered or gave the person completing this form money, services, or items of value to acquire the firearm for him or her, or if the person is prohibited by law from receiving or possessing the firearm. So what a straw purchase is what we're really talking about here. And what that basically means is that there's an intermediary purchasing the gun for a person. There's a conduit, if you will, that's filling out the background check that will pass it, but giving the gun to the actual person that intends to use and own the gun and possess the gun. This typically is seen with felons. A lot of times they'll come in with their spouse or other loved ones or friends. They'll pick out a gun at the gun counter. You'll see them go in the back of the gun store, hand another person cash. That spouse friend will come up, purchase the gun, fill out the 4473, successfully pass it, walk out the store and hand the legally disabled person the firearm, knowing that they were legally disabled from possessing a firearm. That is a crime. It is a felony under federal law. It cannot be done. But if it's a bona fide gift, then you can, in fact, fill out the 4473 and answer the form honestly that you are the actual transferee. For instance, if I were to tell somebody, hey, I'll do your last will and testament if you go down to the gun store and purchase me a new Glock. And if they were to go do that, fill out the 4473, and then hand me the Glock in exchange for legal services, that's not a gift. They are not buying the gun with the intent of being the actual transferee. That is a straw purchase. There's a case not too long ago, went all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, where a gentleman was law enforcement, was able to get a discount being LEO, and his father wanted a certain gun with that discount. So his father gave him some money, he went and bought the gun, filled the 4473, later gave the gun to the father, was caught somehow, I'm not exactly sure how, and was convicted. And that went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they upheld that. So again, another straw purchase. So yes, a gift can be done to answer the writer's question. Your parents can buy you a handgun as a gift, but here's your big issue is your age. And this is really a state issue. So I'm going to speak to all the Ohio viewers out there right now. And 2923.21 of the Ohio Revised Code is on point, where it says no person shall do any of the following. And number 2 says subject to Division B of this section, sell any handgun to a person who is under the age of 21 years, which in this situation they're not doing because the parents will be buying the gun. But then it goes on to say, underneath that, sell or furnish a firearm to a person who is 21 years of age or older if the seller, meaning the person selling the gun store, has reason to know that the person is purchasing or receiving the handgun for the purpose of selling a handgun in violation of A2 of this section to a person who is under 21 years of age, or for the purpose of furnishing the handgun in violation of A3 of this section to a person who is under 21 years of age. And A3 says furnish any handgun to a person who is under 18 years of age, or handgun to anybody who is under the age of 21. So the issue we have here is in Ohio, a juvenile, somebody who is under the age of 21, is allowed to have a handgun. They can possess a handgun. What's illegal is the transfer. So the question is how do they get the firearm? Now, a juvenile or somebody under the age of 21 can have it for legitimate hunting, sporting, or educational purposes, generally under the supervision of a control of a responsible adult. So technically speaking, can the parents purchase the firearm for the juvenile's education or sporting purposes? Sure, if they maintain possession and the only time the person under 21 uses it is under the care or control of a responsible adult. But generally speaking, to get to the heart of the question, no, I do not believe, at least in the state of Ohio, that someone can purchase a juvenile, or somebody who is under the age of 21 rather, a handgun for Christmas, because that would be in violation of Ohio law. Now again, if they happen to bring the gun in from another state where it was lawfully acquired and they just simply possess it in Ohio under 21, I do not know of anything in the law that would make that illegal, but it's the transfer that's highly illegal. And you get into straw purchasing issues as well. So use caution, but I would generally say no, you're not allowed to purchase a handgun. What I would tell your parents to do is to buy you a gift certificate to your favorite gun store, and then you can purchase what you are legally allowed to purchase through the gun store. I hope that answers any questions out there. Again, happy holidays, have a Merry Christmas, enjoy your family, and as always, be safe and carry on.